Hello friends, today we are going to study about how to write a perfect analytical paragraph. What are the key points you have to observe and what are the key points you have to avoid. So first of all, we have to know that what is an analytical paragraph. So an analytical paragraph is a short piece of writing. So don't write a long paragraph. Don't write unnecessary things in your paragraph. That is main point. So what to write? Study given data. So first of all, you have to read the structure, see, which is in the form of sometimes in chart or sometimes in graph and sometimes in table form. So next is identify key points. First of all, you have to identify the key points, where to rise and where to fall, what is the highest value, what is the lowest value, and after that present them in a clear and logical paragraph. So clear and logical paragraph. So don't write unnecessary things. Some students think that if we add some extra things in the paragraph, so we will get good marks. But this is not a interpretation. So you have to analyze the data and write it in a formal way. Don't add unnecessary things in your database. And here we are talking about methods. So step 1, read the question carefully. So first of all, you have to read the question carefully, understand what is given. So you have to analyze the chart, pie chart, bar graph, table, what is given in the question, that what it says. Next is identify the topic and time period. So first of all, you have to identify that what is given in the chart and what is the time limit. That in the chart, in any chart, pie chart, bar graph, everything contains a time period. So you have to analyze that what is time period given in the chart and what is the topic of the chart. The step 2, observe the data, look for highest value, lowest value, trends and comparison. So you have to analyze that what is the highest value of the chart and what is the lowest value of the chart. Then trends means you have to identify where the value rises or where the value go down. So that is the trends, where you can analyze the point where the value is rises and where the value is falls. And comparison, if any comparison is given in the database, you have to analyze that. So we will go to step 3, make rough points. So you have to create some rough points, just like 3-4 important observation you find out in chart. Next is key comparison. If you found out that some important point or comparison given in the chart, you have to note that. Next, step 4, structure your paragraph. Now you have to start your paragraph. How to write it? First point is introduction, 1-2 lines only. You have to introduce what is given in the database in 1 or 2 lines only, not more than, not less than. Next is body of the paragraph. Explain main points, trends and comparison. Here you can start exactly what is given in the database, that is main points, trends and comparisons given in the chart. Next, use words like higher than, lower than, increased gradually, decreased sharply. This make your data, your paragraph very formal structure. So you can use these words when you write your paragraph. Next is conclusion. When you come to the conclusion, because we are not going to write a long paragraph, so when you write these things, then last is only left is conclusion. So when you write conclusion, this should not be more than 1 or 2 lines, not less than 1 or 2 lines. So you have to conclude your paragraph in a perfect way. Here are some important tips to write your paragraph in a perfect way. So first is use formal language. So first of all, you have to pay attention on your language. So you have to write a perfect formal language only. Don't write words like I think, I observe. In spite of these words you can write, it can be observed, that. So this looks very good and attention catcher words. So next is use linking words. The next point is you have to write linking words in your paragraph, just like firstly, secondly, however, on the other hand, overall, thus. These are the words you can use in your paragraph. Third is avoid personal opinion. So as I told you firstly that avoid personal opinion. Don't write unnecessary stuff in your paragraphs. You are not going to write a long narrative paragraph, so you don't add. You have to create in a perfect way. Don't add any personal opinion about the given database or given chart. Next is be precise. Be precise again. Don't add extra details, extra data in your paragraph. Stick on the facts only. Next, use correct tense. You have to write in a correct tense. You know very well that after study about tense, you are going to write your analytical paragraphs. So you have to pay attention on tense also. Next, compare properly. So while you are writing about comparison, you have to focus on that how you write it. So don't write just like A is high, B is low. You have to write that in spite of these words, you can write A is higher than, B is lower than. So you have to write this way. So students oftenly do some common mistakes while writing their paragraphs. So we will focus on what to avoid. So writing too long paragraphs. As I told you before that don't write too long paragraphs. You have to write only 10 to 12 words on 12 lines only. Next is ignoring key data. So you don't write unnecessary stuff, and ignoring key data is creates a bad impact on teachers, and bad impact on teachers that students have to write a bad database. Next is not making comparison. You have to compare in chart and show that. So don't you have to make comparison. Don't do stuff like that. You don't making any comparison. Just take the data and write it as it is. So next is using informal language. As I told you, don't write I think, you think, he say, you say, words like that. In spite of that, you can write it can be observed, it is said that. So that looks so formal, and it helps you to create a perfect database for your analytical paragraph. So keep the spirit. Thank you.